Yo, what is good, YouTube? It's your boy Chizzle, and I am back with another video. And in today's video, as y'all can see by the title, Bronny James goes 0 for 6, and DaReal Johnson and Bryce Griggs have intense. I don't know who Bryce is, but I know DaReal Johnson and Bronny James, bro. Bronny James, we were going 0 for 6, bro. All right, last year. I'm not gonna lie. Oh yeah, y'all hit that like button in the subscribe button too. I can't even speak right now. I can't think. But yeah, Bronny James, you went 0 for 6, right? 0 for 6 last year or the year before that when you were in the 9th grade, right? All right, you were a freshman coming off the bench. You were very underrated because you didn't get that much playing time. You were on a team full of superstars, just straight talent, so you didn't get that much time to play because you were a freshman, and you were ranked like 25th, and I thought that you were very underrated, right? And I'm not one of those type of people that are just be on a bandwagon and just praise you, and then you do one bad thing, they hate you. You were a great player, but going 0 for 6, that's not gonna slide. All right, you going 0 for 6 like this past month, you know what I'm saying, you came back and you have not been performing the best you can. All right, now I'm starting to think you deserve where you are. When you were in the 9th grade, I thought to myself you were very underrated, but you going 0 for 6, bro. You shouldn't even be top 100 doing this.
Who's Matt in the building? What's good, y'all? I hope you're having a blessed day. Man, oh man, we gotta talk about multiple things in today's video from Bronny James.
Yeah. This right here is Matt Be Great. I've been subscribed to him.
Yet again, another questionable performance, and we got DaReal Johnson and Bryce Griggs going at it head to head, and some people think there was beef involved, but I don't think so. But we're going to talk about it, so if you're new to the channel, what are you doing? Join the family, hit the subscribe button, and leave a like for more. And without further ado, let's get into the news. Anytime we talk about news, we normally always start with Bronny, but let's switch it up and talk about DaReal Johnson and Bryce Griggs. Most of you know DaReal Johnson. I don't have to talk about him too much, but
bro, Flight Reactions X was with DaReal Johnson, bro. She is the female EDP. That's what I'm saying.
There's a lot of people that don't know Bryce Griggs. Bryce sort of gets lost in the shadow behind all these other great players in high school basketball, and it shouldn't be that way.
He looks like a 22-year-old, no, not even a 42-year-old man.
He's underrated, I feel like, but if you know him or watched him play, you know he's good. He doesn't get a lot of the big time exposure because he doesn't do too many things to draw attention. He's to himself and he gets buckets, and that's all there is to it. But anyways, moving on with this video, the EYBL Peach Jam is currently going on, and yesterday, DaReal Johnson and Bryce faced off. I wish more people were talking about it and it got more exposure because it was a great matchup. They were going bucket for bucket. There was some trash talk involved, and some people were sending it to me saying that they were beefing with one another, but that was not the case. They're great friends. There was some video clips, and if I can find them, I'll try to throw them up on the screen, where Bryce was talking some smack after he scored. You can't even tell if he's talking directly towards DaReal, but I think he's just hyping himself up, and that's basketball talk. Even though both players played really good and they were going back and forth, Bryce did have the upper hand in the matchup. DaReal wound up finishing with 20 points, a solid performance. He played good on both sides of the ball, and Bryce Griggs, he had an all-around great game. He had 29 points. I don't have to talk about it too much, but if you saw the highlights, you can tell that these guys, they showed why they're regarded as high as they are. As far as the quote-unquote beef they have,
I'm here for Bronny, I'm not gonna lie. I'm just here for Bronny. Bronny is the main light in this video for me. I'm here to see Bronny and what you have to say about Bronny James.
There is no beef. Let me make that clear. I don't know where people got that from, and I don't even know why they're saying it. They literally took a picture together after the game with each other. And then to top that off, Bryce was commenting under some posts about DaReal and hyping him up. So there's no beef. Stop trying to say that. If you don't know Bryce Griggs by now, you better start paying attention because I think he's going to be one of the biggest names, not in high school, but maybe college basketball, and he has a good shot to get to the NBA. I may make a video later tonight if there's any more games or news or big things to talk about, but early, and I mean really early this morning, Dior Johnson's team played again and he went off. Listen.
Why did I play so early? Like at 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock? Why so early?
To this stat line. He had 26 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, and 3 steals. I don't want to say he's the best player at the Peach Jam right now, but he's easily got to be one of the top 3 or 5. I will say this, he easily has the best mid-range pull-up game out of any high schooler I've seen in a while. When you talk about a bucket getter and a pure scorer, Dior Johnson, he's the definition. He's a guy that can score from anywhere on the court. And you gotta realize too, he's putting up 25 pieces like it's nothing against the best of the best competition. I don't see anybody anywhere talking about how good Dior's playing, and that's disrespectful, so I had to talk about it today because it's just giving credit where credit is due. Actually, let me backtrack on that because I did see a tweet where LeBron was talking about how good he was playing. Speaking of LeBron, that leads us into our next storyline perfectly. His son, Bronny James. I'm thinking about it, I really am. We might as well.
I heard the new Space Jam was trash. I already knew it was going to be trash. Like, it just looks so animated and fake and staged. I mean, I know it's staged. Like, I know it's acting, but it just does not look right. It just looks fake. And yeah.
So change the name.
I haven't watched it yet. I might watch it. I don't know when.
To the channel to Bronny be great because that's all we've been talking about. But there's so many things to talk about with him. He's easily one of the most controversial players in high school.
Bro, the past week or two, Matt has been straight, like not violating Bronny, but like getting on him. Like he is telling him that he is not performing good and stuff like that, which he's not performing. Well, this game he performed terrible. 0 for 6, that's terrible. But his other games, he's been decent, but like we know Bronny James can easily go for 25 points, 7 assists, 6 rebounds, something like that. Like we all know Bronny can easily put up a double-double, triple-double any day, but he did get injured, but he's 100% though. But you know, sometimes when you get off of an injury, I forgot what exactly he got injured. It was like somewhere in his, like around his leg or like somewhere. But sometimes you don't always come back the best you were before you got injured.
Basketball. One game he'll look good, and the next game he'll look like, how do I say this? Not so good. You know how it goes. I don't have to say too much, but let's talk about his most recent performance. Also, as I'm speaking right now, he's currently playing in another game, and by the time this is uploaded, that game will probably be finished. So I'm not talking about the game today, which is Saturday. I'm talking about his game Friday. I would love to throw up some highlights on the screen right now for you to see how he played, but there is no highlights, and that's why you haven't seen a Ball is Life video or a Slam High School video or anything about.
Exactly, because all they want to put in is like all the good clips so they can get more views.
Strive for greatness. They don't have a title for it. They can't title it Bronny went off or Bronny did this or Bronny did that because he literally did nothing. Okay, he did some things on the defensive side, and he's a good defensive player, and he had a couple assists, but on the stat sheet, he really didn't do anything else. His team, Strive for Greatness, wound up losing their game 71-60. And one key piece to note,
he went 0 for 6. They only lost by 11 points. Bro.
Is that the team they lost to was 0-2 going into that game.
Never mind. Well, 0-2, no, that's not bad. 0-2, that y'all have only played 2 games. 0-2 is not bad. But
when I say I couldn't find a single thing, I mean I couldn't find a single thing. I couldn't see highlights or anything from this game because nobody was talking about it. And the only thing I can assume is that it's because Bronny played bad. I wish I was making this up, but I'm not. Bronny finished the game going 0 for 6 and had 0 points. I don't know what to say, and I don't know what you guys even expect me to say because I'm speechless. I literally, and I mean literally, made a video a day or two ago apologizing, saying that
exactly, because he was saying that Bronny is not a good player. He's not bad, but he's not a good player. He's just average, or it might even be below average. And then the next video, he had apologized. But you might be right, bro. I mean, I know Bronny is a great player. I know that. He's a good player, a good, great player. But he's just not showing it. So if you're not showing it, how can you say that he's a good, great player? But back in his old days, even in 9th grade, he was great. He was averaging like 10 points off the bench. That was good. He was doing good off of the bench, because you got to realize he's a freshman with a team full of superstars, full of juniors and seniors. But yeah, he's a great player, just that he's just not showing it. He's not showing us that he is a great player. So how can you say that he's a great player?
He's going to come in his groove, and I was being a little too harsh on him. He just had a game where he had 12 points and 4 assists, 4 rebounds, and 4 steals, and he's going to...
That's decent. For Bronny James, that is decent. Bronny James should be putting up 25, 7 and 7.
Get it going. But now he does this. At first I was joking about it. I used to say that Bronny was trolling us because he'll have one good game, get our hopes up, and then he'll have a terrible game, and then he'll go out there and have a good game. It's like he's playing with our emotions. And at first, that was originally me joking, but I'm starting to think it's not a joke and he's just straight up trolling. I don't know. When's the last time he's had back-to-back good performances? I don't even know. I get it. We all have rough nights out there, whether it's baseball, football, basketball, or whatever sport you play. You're not going to play your best. But 0 points? Come on, man. Only 2 to 3 days ago, he had a game with 2 points, and I was being harsh on him, and I was saying it's unacceptable, not for him, but anybody. But 0 points? There's no excuse. For my guys watching this, I know we got some girl viewers, and maybe this does apply to you, but I think it's mainly guys. If you've ever had a bad baseball or basketball game and you have to ride home with your dad, you know that is the worst ride home ever. He's going to just critique you, and say some harsh things, and it's going to be like that until you get home. And I'm not even talking for a 4 or 5 star recruit. I'm talking about average high school players and high school athletes. If you score 0 points, could you imagine that car ride home? The crazy part about this situation is that we're not talking about average Joes. We're talking about Bronny.
You're talking about Bronny James, 4 or 5 star recruit. One of the best in his classes. The son of LeBron James. The same kid that was on the 2000 something blue chip with Mikey Williams and Gabe Cupps. We're talking about that Bronny James. Just a few years ago, that was getting 20, 25, sometimes 30 points.
Bronny. This is supposed to be the young King James and the next big thing. I don't want to be too critical of his 0 point performance. Maybe it was just an overall really bad day, but you gotta hold him accountable. I know every hooper out there wouldn't be okay with scoring only 0 points, so I'm not gonna be too harsh on him because he probably had a bad enough day itself. I'll just leave it up to you guys. Let me know in the comment section about his 0 for 6 and 0 point performance. There's one bright side about basketball. If you do have a bad game, you're probably gonna play within a day or two, so you can forget it and move on.
Like I said, I'm not one of those people that like to talk bad about Bronny at all times, or people in general, and then when they have a good performance, just hop on their tip. Me, I'm just being honest, bro. Bronny, that was a terrible game, bro. That was a terrible game, going 0 for 6. 0 for 6, Bronny. Bronny, we all know you were a great player. You should not be going 0 for 6. You should not be going 0 for 6. Especially you. You were in the EYBL. No player in the EYBL should be going 0 for 6, Bronny. Now, I understand everybody has bad games, right? Some people go off and have great games, but ever since you came back, Bronny, I'm not gonna lie, you have been having decent games. You haven't really went off yet, as the whole world know you can. Everybody knows you can go off and drop 20, 25, maybe even get a double-double. Alright, you are a great defender, I'll give you that, but everything you're doing on offense, like scoring wise, you're not scoring. Alright, you are getting a few assists, but other than that, I mean, like, you're not really doing anything, bro. I'm just being honest.
Move on to the next one, so hopefully he does that. And I guarantee you guys, he'll go out there in this next game and score 14 points, because That's how he plays. He'll have a bad one and then a good one. I want to see him do good. I really do, and I'm rooting for him. But it's hard to tell myself I think he's going to be great after he does things like this. But maybe he just needs some time. I will try to remain optimistic, but if he has 1 to 2 more 2-point games and 0-point games, I don't know, man. We may be making a pretty critical video about him. I don't even want to say it's critical. I just tell it how it is. So whether you like it or not, that's up to you. But with all that being said, that's gonna wrap up this video.
Hey man, if y'all did enjoy this video, y'all just go ahead and hit that like button and that subscribe. But what do y'all think, bro? Like, do y'all think Bronny James will eventually just go off and play like he did 2 or 3 years ago? I hope he does, bro. I remember at Blue Chip, he was like one of the main scorers. He got assists too. Like, he was an all-around great player. He could shoot. He did good finishing. He played defense. He can create space for himself. All of that. But now, like, I don't know if it's just the injury or if he just doesn't care, or if he stopped playing while he had an injury that made him worse. Because you know what they say, you stop practicing, you get worse. I don't know, bro. But Bronny James, bro, you just gotta get better, bro. Like, I know you were a great player, but you're not showing it. You are not showing it. Some games you show it, glimpse of it, pieces of it, but we need you to come out here and just go crazy, bro. The Bronny James we all know, the young King James we all know you are. But y'all just go ahead and hit that like button, that subscribe button. Go check out my previous videos. One of them should be on the screen right now above me. It's your boy Chizzle. Kids, people in general, don't do drugs.